Hello everyone. In this video, we will be discussing how to import one SpecView project into another. This can be quite beneficial when attempting to quickly duplicate projects. For instance, let's say you initially started off with a single furnace. You have set up the furnace to communicate with SpecView and have created an exquisite project to go along with it. After a while, you decide to expand your industrial process and have brought an additional identical furnace. You want to set it up with SpecView, but you do not want to spend hours duplicating your initial project for the second furnace. This is where importing a project becomes useful. You can simply import your initial project for furnace 1 into itself, as we will be doing in this video, to quickly duplicate the amazing screens, parameters, and strategy logic that you have already designed. Then, with a few minor tweaks here and there, you will have expanded your initial project to communicate with the second furnace and have retained similar project functionality as the existing project. So let's get started. I am using the Watlow F4T Demo new project here, but the methodology for importing a project will be almost identical for your projects as well. So first I'm going to go ahead and restore the additional F4T demo from the archive file. The additional F4T demo project is identical to this current demo project with the exception of the SpecView features screen and the title screen. It would be redundant to have those screens duplicated, and so we've done some work and removed those screens and the strategy events associated with those screens for you. Now all we have to do here is restore the archive and ensure that we can import that project into our current demo project. When importing your personalized projects, you can skip this step unless your imported project is in an archive file. Then you would have to first restore it and then import it like we are doing here now. So let me go ahead and restart SpecView. And then I'm going to go ahead and click on Restore. I will browse and navigate to my archive file, which is in the SV3 folder. Click on Open. I'll click OK. And it gives me the default name of additional Watlow F4T Demo. I'm okay with that. And so we start restoring the archive. All right, so the archive was successfully restored here. So that's good. And now we're ready to import our additional Watlow F4T demo project into our F4T demo new project. Now that we have successfully restored the additional F4T project, we go back into our Watlow F4T demo new project and start the process of importing our additional Watlow project. Once this project shows up, I'm going to go into File and go into Edit mode and go offline. I need to be in offline mode so that I can import the project. And I go back into the File menu and I now have an option here for Import Project. I'll go ahead and click on that. And in the Import Project dialog box, I have a Browse button here so I can find the project folder for the additional Watlow F4T demo project. So I'm just going to go ahead and navigate there. It's in the SV3 folder as a subfolder here. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And then I'll click on config.cf3, click on Open. Now I have an option of adding a prefix or a suffix, and I will go ahead and add a prefix here. Oh, sorry, that's suffix. I'll add import 1 dash, and I want to leave these two options checked because I do want to include the GDWs and I do want to include strategy or the strategy events from the additional Watlow F4T demo project. And this red line here just warns us that log files are not backed up during this process, nor are they imported during this process, which I'm okay with. So I'm going to go ahead and click import. And I'll just wait for the import process to complete. Okay, excellent. And it says here that the import of configuration additional Watlow F4T Demo has succeeded. I'll click OK. That's good. Now if I look at my variables list, I'm just going to drag it here and make it a little bit wider. Oops. I can see that I have my existing instruments, but I also have my imported instruments with my prefix of import1. Also, if I look at the top of this GDW or the screen here, I can see import1 10-step simple profile.gd3, which means that this is an imported GDW or screen from the other project. And lastly, if I go into strategy controller, I have my existing strategy events, but then if I scroll down, I also have my imported strategy events. So that's good. And actually one last thing I want to check are user variables that should have also been imported. So let's open up this category of text user variables, and I have my existing user variables, but I can see that I also have my imported user variables as well. So everything that I expect to have been imported is now imported into this project. So now the import process is complete and we can move on to making tweaks to this project to account for the imported project and set it up so that it communicates with the additional instrumentation. After successfully importing the project, we need to readdress the imported instrumentation to communicate with the additional hardware or instrumentation that we have. So let's go ahead and do that here. I know that the imported instrumentation from the additional Watlow F4T Demo project is at the IP address of 192.168.0.223. Now, rather than changing all the instruments from the imported project one at a time, which would be time consuming, I'm going to change them all at once by going into Options, Replace, and I know I want to find the IP address of the imported project, so 192.168.0.223. And I want to replace it to my desired IP address. Now, unfortunately, I only have one Watlow F4T, so I'm going to change the imported instrumentation to the IP address of the imported instrumentation to the existing IP address that I already had. I'm going to uncheck these boxes because I don't want to search and replace there. I want to search and replace in the address of the instruments, so I'm okay with that. And SpecView has gone through and replaced the 8 items. So all 8 instruments that have been imported now have updated IP addresses, so I can check here. 1.40, excellent. I'll save that. I'll close the variables list. And I'll just save, go into online features, and I just want to see some values populate. And as you can see, we have values populating here, which means that we have successfully changed the IP address of the imported instrument. Next, we need to go through all the imported screens or GDWs on this project and alter the title as seen here in the red text, for example, to indicate that this is an imported screen. Additionally, we also need to add navigation buttons as seen below at the bottom of this screen or GDW to be able to navigate towards the imported half of the project from the existing half, and also vice versa. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do that here. Okay, so I've completed changing the navigation buttons and also the titles of each of the GDWs. So as you can see here, I've chosen to add the suffix of -1 to indicate that we are in an imported screen. And also at the bottom here, you'll notice it says -1 to indicate that we are navigating between the imported half of the project. However, if I wanted to return to the existing half of the project to communicate or to analyze data on the existing Watlow F4T, I couldn't go back to overview 1, and then I added this screen called main menu quickly so that I can navigate between the existing half and the imported half. So if I wanted to check and analyze data in the existing Watlow F4T, I can go here and go to batch trend. I can go to profiling, which is all the usual stuff that I already had. However, if I wanted to go to my additional Watlow F4T and analyze data there, go back into main menu, go back to overview 1, and now I'm in the imported half, so I can analyze data for the additional Watlow F4T as well. To conclude, this is how we can import one SpecView project into another to aid us in quickly duplicating projects to account for additional instrumentation. The entire process only took me around 15 to 20 minutes to do. Let us say we can add another 10 minutes for troubleshooting. That means within half an hour, I have expanded my original project with identical functionality as the existing one to communicate with an additional F4T instrument. If I were to start from scratch, this expansion would have taken me hours to complete. Also, the alterations I have made to the screens and navigation of the project is just one quick way of doing it. You are more than welcome to personalize it to fit your needs, whether you are using this demo project or some other project. Additionally, you can import a project multiple times. So, if I had 3 new F4Ts to add to my factory floor instead of 1, then I would just import the additional Watlow F4T Demo project 3 times and make the appropriate modifications shown in this video to account for the 3 new instruments. Lastly, if there are further inquiries regarding how to import a project, then please feel free to contact us. Our contact information is in the description below. Until next time, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.